Welcome back to Art and Comics Nation. This is episode 2. Like I was saying in the first video, this is something I want to do regularly. I want to do this as a vlog series. Sometimes I'll be doing this where I'm just working on something and I'll do voiceover, or I'll actually be talking live. I don't have a topic. Like, there's nothing that I really want to talk about. I just wanted to work on this, but show you that that this is what I'm doing. Right now, I'm just adding color to these pages. This is my mini comic, The Ironing Tip, and if you want to read a digital version of it, there's there's a link to it in the description. So you can see that, you can read that. But if you want a physical copy, which I am personally adding all these little touches, um, coloring just a shirt. I am gonna be adding color to the covers, but if you want one of these, let me know in the comments. You can hit me up on Twitter, send me a DM, and I'll mail you one off. Yeah. But this is what I'm doing. I want to finish these off. I was doing these on, let's see, when did I do the first video? That was Saturday, but it took a long time just to uh, edit and produce the video, and then edit again. And by the time I was finished doing all that, I was very tired. So I'm working on these now, just finishing these off. I'm using the Touch New markers just to add some color. I think they'll look good, but they do tend to bleed through. I'm doing it very lightly as I can, so it doesn't ruin the other pages. So I'm probably gonna switch to pencil colors, and I have a mechanical pencil colors. I have a blue one here at my makeshift studio, which I'll be using. And I have a few other ones. I am gonna add color to the covers, but not that much. Just the title and the iron, and on the back, just uh, add some color uh, to the character. And once I'm done with these, I'm gonna start working on my not my main comic, not the main story I want to do, but I am writing down ideas. Uh, but there's two other mini comics that I already have a layout, and so it's just redrawing it, working on those, and then I'm gonna start on the Captain Courage comic. And I got a lot of ideas. There's other stories I want to tell. Just other. Just, there's just different stories I want to tell. I have other characters too. I'm working on reviving an old character I did years ago, which the video is already up. Crimson Samaritan. So I'm gonna be working on a storyline for that one, and I do have somewhere. I'm gonna have to uh, look for it, and an origin story, which is a I think I forget when I did it. It was years ago. It was a little rough, so there's stuff I'm gonna change around. But that's another project, another story I have. All right. So, what are your stories? I mean, is there any story you want to tell? Are you working on a comic? If you don't like comics, like if that's not your thing, uh, you're working on a book. Are you working on something? Today, I watched the seventh issue, which is the seventh episode of Making Comics 101 by Scott Circlin on Circworks Art Labs, and you can check out his channel. And he talked about dialogue. I think the last few of them have been just about writing. So all those are coming in handy because that's what I'm working on uh, right now. Just getting out that story for Captain Courage, and then once I'm done uh, just writing the story. That's what I'm gonna get into, drawing the art for. And I'll probably do other videos where I'm just working on character designs. I have Captain Courage, but I don't have many other characters. There are a couple, but I don't have that many. So I'm gonna be working on. So I mentioned Scott Circlin, and in the beginning of this video, I put up a logo. I had originally done it for a quote that Jim Luhan had said about Scott Circlin. I'm going to try to recall it at the top of my head. Scott Circlin is a kind and beautiful art warrior. And Jim Luhan had said that on Indie Conversation. It is a show that he co-hosts with Curry Kerr. And I thought that was a very, very beautiful thing that he said. So I turned it into a quote, and you can see it on my Instagram. It's on there. But I made that shield and the sword brushes just as a kind of background image. And I was like, I wonder what else I can do with this. So for right now, that's the logo. I might change it later. I'm repurposing my art. And speaking of Curry Kerr and Scott Circlin, there are some homages in this book on the first 2 pages of the ironing tip. I included 3 Easter eggs in this book. In the first 2 pages, you can see 3 names, three mentions. The name of the university is C. Kerr University, and that's Curry Kerr, because he teaches at a university. When my character is entering the classroom, there's a poster for a Mentors Club, and it's hosted by Jay Campbell. That's Joshua Campbell. And the name on the door of the classroom is being taught by Professor Cirqueworks. Those are 3 little Easter eggs. I include them because I'm just paying homage and paying tribute, because those are 3 gentlemen that have inspired me, helped me, gave me the encouragement that I needed, just to do this first book. So as I keep making mini comics, as I keep creating, I'll probably include more Easter eggs like that. There's other people I'd like to pay homage to, so I'll be sprinkling in a few here and there. I left a link in the description. It's a Google Drive link, so it's gonna take you straight to a full-on digital version of the. When I say full-on, I mean it's the full image of the comic. I did have it as a PDF, but you can just click on this link, and you'll see the whole comic in its entirety. And I did format it so it's in a way where I can print it out and make copies. But since this is a version that I want to share with people to read, I did change. I did flip a part of it because it was there's a section that's upside down, but it's readable now. You can read it, you can see it. And the reason I'm saying that because I want you to read it, because I'm about to spoil it. So spoiler alert. I'm assuming you already went and read it. Alright, so the ironing tip is based on a true story. So it is loosely based on me. That character is more or less me. I do look like that, except he is a lot thinner than I am. So that's why it's loose. It's loosely based. And it didn't happen in school. It happened somewhere else. I'm not going to say where. It's a mystery. But yeah, it is a real conversation. Someone did tell me I needed to iron my shirt, and sometimes people would still tell me that. I got sick and tired of it. Anyways, but the suggestion was that I use starch, so that was an actual tip. That's why it's the ironing tip. And no, I did not rub a potato on my shirt. That part was humor. So that is the end of the story. Uh, the end of the comic. My character is rubbing a potato. I think he's rubbing two potatoes on a shirt, on that shirt actually. But I turned it into a book, so use your experiences, and you can get some good stories out of them. And one of the other mini comics that I'm working on is also taken from just a real experience that I had. Uh, it's not a continuation. It's not the same character, but it is a real experience that I had. Kind of strange, but I decided to just use it and turn it into a mini comic. So it is a first draft. I was doing it as a comic strip, but I said I'm going to do it as a mini comic. So I'm gonna make some changes. So that's what I'm gonna be working on after I finish this. After I finish the coloring and then mailing off the copies, that's when I'm gonna start my next mini. Uh, but yeah, just to recap, just use your experiences. If you're having trouble getting ideas, just use life. Uh, Sometimes life is stranger than fiction. So go out and create something. And I think that's all for today's video. And thanks for watching. Don't forget, tip your waitress.